Ready?
Okay.
Where am I? Am I looking in? Where am I? Right here. The movie I chose is Preston Sturges' The Miracle of Morgan's Creek.
Hold the presses! Hold everything! Hold them! Get me to state capitol. I gotta talk to the governor immediately. It's a matter of life and death.
In the first 10 minutes of any movie, you gotta grab the audience and never let go.
What happened down there? You got a flood or did you strike oil or something?
Did we strike oil or something? Tell him.
So how do you grab them?
What we've got, Mr. Governor, is...
I've got a secret.
You got what?
You've gotta get people down here.
This is terribly important. I wish I could be down there myself.
He keeps delaying it.
100 newspaper men are here already and 500 more expected in the morning.
Well, what is it? What is it?
You never heard of it, huh?
He never quite reveals it.
This is the biggest thing happened to this station. We stole it from the Indians.
As an audience, you're going, what is it? You know, he kind of backs up and goes into the story.
I was looking out the window, and there I saw...
Get out of here.
Hey, we gotta get some dates for that dance tonight. You got any numbers?
Try the telephone company. What do you think I am?
Preston Sturges was a filmmaker from the 1940s. I loved him because he really attacked comedy in a way that I don't think anybody else had. He also used it to kind of make his points about what he thought American life was, and that's a lot of what The Miracle of Morgan's Creek is
Come
about.
on, Norfolk. Good night, Emmy. Good night, Papa.
And be home right after the picture.
Where else could I go?
I didn't ask where else
There's
you
a new little boogie-woogie joint.
Listen, you.
Come on, Norfolk.
Morgan's Creek is in the Midwest. As someone who lives in Michigan and lives in the Midwest, I mean, we're constantly, you know, barraged with what, you know, how intelligent and how smart and how sophisticated people are in New York and LA on the coasts, you know. The reason that they invented nonstops was, you know, nobody wants to see the Midwest. They just want to fly over us. Even back in the 40s, it was this place where nothing bad ever happened.
Trudy!
And Sturges was going, oh yeah, it's small town America, but, you know, lift up a rock. Here's this script about this girl who gets drunk, ends up with these soldiers, and gets pregnant, and really shows the kind of chaos and kind of a darker side underneath your quintessential American life.
I never had a drink in my life, and you talk as if I were swaffled or something. Good night.
I was going to school. I was acting and taking acting classes and trying to get better, and going to the Regency Theater on 67th Street, and they would have Preston Sturges Week every year or so, and I would just go watch all of his stuff. And watching Preston Sturges go at comedy the way he went at comedy, it just taught me that, you know, you don't have to be a comedian.
There's nothing to be nervous about. There's a justice to the peace.
They're trying to get these names out. They're stuttering. They're you know, they've really got it down, and there's a rhythm to it, and they're working off each other.
Just take it easy. It'll all be over in a minute.
Oh, now.
Well, there's nothing to be nervous.
You can be an actor who is playing a character who just happens to say these funny things that he doesn't think are funny.
This is airtight and watertight. It's foolproof and almost legal, Trudy.
Eddie Bracken plays Norval Jones, and where is he? There he is, the one with the mouth open. He's got one of the great noses. You can see the nose better in that one, right there. And when you get Eddie in profile, I mean, it's like this, from the tip of the nose to the forehead. There's no kind of thing like this. It's just boom, it's flat, and it's funny. He said, you know, I even had this thing for my nose,
but kept me awake nights, except once when I almost smothered.
He does self-pity better than anybody. And you're just already going on this sap, you know? And he's just so in love with this girl, and he always will be, and he can't get into the Army because he sees spots.
My head begins to buzz, and everything in the middle of the room begins to swim, and I get black spots in front of my eyes.
He does this thing, which spots.
The spots!
I can almost see them myself.
The movie kind of starts with Betty Hutton playing Trudy Cockenlocker. It's funny what Sturges does. I mean, he has her lip syncing to some deep kind of baritone. And she's, Preston would find these kind of, not normal names, but he'd find these little skewed names which fit the whole tone of his piece.
Norfolk.
Suckenbucker.
Ratsky-watsky.
I'm sure there was something a little lewd about Cockenlocker.
Mr. Koepenick.
Cockenlocker.
Cockenlocker.
Koepenick, K-O-C-K-N-L-O-C-K-R.
We're not supposed to talk about sex. We're not supposed to have sex. We're not supposed to have kids out of wedlock. And so, yeah, I mean, cock and locker can be Sturgis's little joke.
Oh!
There isn't any idiocy in your family, is there?
She won't have me.
Oh, she won't.
I already asked her.
You didn't ask her right. You gotta be more forceful in these matters.
William Demarest, who some people might know from, My Three Sons. Here's a guy that just berates his 2 daughters, who will tell anybody who listens, don't have daughters.
They're a mess no matter how you look at them. A headache till they get married, if they get married, and after that they get worse.
Papa's bite's worse than his bark.
This guy takes more pratfalls in this movie than Jim Carrey. You know, he's not 20. And that's Sturgis going, chaos, chaos. I mean, you look at the framing, you've got boom, boom, people coming through, you got dialogue going through, everybody's in an uproar.
Mind if I examine the evidence, Corporal?
Sergeant, if it's all the same to you.
Why don't you leave him alone? I can explain everything to my father.
Yes, but can you explain it to the judge? What judge? What's the charge?
I love that he was doing that. Nobody else was really doing that. And I'm guilty of it. I get people tell me, slow down, Jeff, slow down. Oh, you mean suck the lens right into me and just hold on to it and take a bath and then toss you the line after 10 seconds of me having great moments? You mean that? You wouldn't last 5 minutes on a Preston Sturges set. Move it, move it, move it, move it, move it. And it gets funnier.
How can I knock anyone out? Is that all the harder you can hit? For heaven's sake, will you try to do one thing right?
Here.
He's an absurdist. And today, it's kind of like the Monty Python. Like, I think all the great comedians, the Woody Allens, those guys, I mean, they all have this kind of outlook on life that's cockeyed to us, but normal to them. Not only is the filmmaker great, but I think this movie is a great movie. I would give this 5 out of 4 stars. I really would. Especially if you're able to kind of darken the lights and get whatever size television you got. Just get so that it feels like a movie theater and just watch it from beginning to end. And I think he'll take you. He'll take you for a ride.
Can you do it?
Oh, yes.
I'm Jeff Daniels, and you're watching Under the Influence here on Turner Classic Movies. And the movie I chose is Preston Sturges' The Miracle of Morgan's Creek. That's not bad. That wasn't bad.
That was marvelous.
Okay, good.
No, did I smirk at you?
No, and I'm just, just doing a,
You're on fire.
actor check.
Spot.